Hoosier Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Hoosier Trapper Supply. Visit HoosierTrapperSupply.com for all your trapping needs, including Charlie Mashek's Leatherwood Creek trapping scents and Hoosier Trapper deer scent.
All right, welcome to Episode 6, Season 13, Hoosier Trapper Outdoors. On this episode, we'll continue with our Texas trap line. After that, we will go to Indiana semi-live with Justin and I. That'll be local trapping before work. And then we'll also have on Matt and Jared, who were on last year. We rode with them one day, and then they also filmed some stuff on their own. So that'll round out the rest of this season. I want to mention the Trap House podcast with Zach Hansen. He is with the Okayest Trapper podcast. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that, you might give it a listen. It's a good story. It's a good comparison, or a good conversation, a good comparison of notes. And he came to trapping late in life, later in his adulthood. So that a lot of you can relate to that. So anyways, be sure to check that out. Also, just a reminder, the Show Us Your Bottle contest is up and going. All the information is on the homepage of the website, HoosierTrapperSupply.com. There is a specific email to send your photos to. There is, you have a chance to win a $100 Hoosier Trapper Supply gift card. It's available for trappers and hunters. Just get a picture of yourself with your success and the bottle that you used to have that success, which would include our line of deer hunting scent and also our line of trapping scent, which would be the Leatherwood line, which includes the Top Dog and the Mighty Dog. I think that's it. Hope you enjoy the show.
Check day 6. First coyote. So we're running super late today. Actually, Justin had to go to a minute clinic, essentially, and he's kind of under the weather. So hopefully they got him on some antibiotics started, so hopefully he can be back with us in the next day or two. Anyways, he actually set this set. I think this is the 4th check on this. So set it kind of down here, obviously, in this canyon. Obviously it paid off, so it's good to see this coyote, because the first part of the section of the ranch we were at just a little bit ago, it kind of blanked out. It did blank out, didn't catch a thing. So, but we have taken 16 coyotes off of that section. So anyways, good to see this guy. We'll get him taken care of, climb back out of here, keep you posted. All right, here's the remake on that. Basically, just kind of got things back where they were supposed to be, essentially. So it's sandy down here, so it wasn't too bad. With all this rock, I thought maybe it might be tough getting it in. I just made the set a couple, or like it's 5 days ago. So, anyways, this is we've just basically checked a handful of traps on this property so far, so hopefully we got something else to show you. So check day 6 continues. All right, it's starting to get windy. Check day 6 continues. This location here and just right there 10 yards over has produced 3 porcupines and 1 raccoon. pretty crazy. I would have never guessed 3 porcupines, but anyways, they're here, so we're catching them. Don't really have anything else to say. It's just a porcupine location. Alright, here's the remake on the after the porcupine. It's good for anything coming along, including another porcupine. See what happens. Check day 6 continues.
Well, that was kind of pathetic. End of check day 6, and 1 coyote, 1 porcupine. That's it. So we don't have a whole lot to report today. It's been very mild. It's been up. I mean, it's cool when the sun goes down, but it was up to 70 today. Nights have been mild, so it's definitely kind of affected things. So we'll just keep at it. We don't have much choice, but deal with the weather as it comes. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Hags Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
Well, check day 7. It's been pretty slow up until now. Caught this nice trophy porcupine. It's a joke, not the target species. So we can't seem to avoid them.
No, yeah, this is a completely different spot.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Speechless.
Yeah. Well, we'll get him taken care of, and hopefully we connect with something a little different down the line. So,
as you can see, it's incredibly mild out here. I just got this hat on because it's super windy, but yeah, it is very mild.
alright, I got the set remade. Luckily, it didn't tear it up too much. The bait was gone. I don't know if he was eating it or what, or something else hauled it off, but it wasn't there. So I rebaited it. Actually, it's pretty cool. I think that is my first porcupine, so I'll take it. I don't necessarily want another one, but I'll take it.
I have no words.
Check day 7 continues.
Yes. Okay, a couple questions that came in recently. These are going to be relatively easy to answer, fairly quickly. So somebody asked about if you get 4-coil traps, for instance, like the number 2 square jaw dukes come 4-coiled, so do the number 2 dogless dukes also come 4-coiled. So, and he wanted to know if you could remove the 4-coils. And it's like, certainly you can add them if you need them on other traps, but those come already 4-coiled and they're already incredibly strong. So yeah, to answer that question, yes, you can remove the 4-coils. If you buy a modified trap that has the lamination, which adds weight to the jaw, you can remove those springs, but you might need that additional spring because of the weight of the jaw. Now, I will say that that's not written in stone, and people still remove them. The Duke 550 Pro and the Minnesota brand 550, those are cast jaws, and they do very well with 2 springs. They certainly don't need to be 4-coiled. So it kind of depends on the trap, but generally, yeah, you can remove those 4 coils, the additional 2 springs that turn the trap into 4-coil. The other question I got recently was when you're setting your trap, for instance, at a dirt hole, the question was, hey, I'm setting my trap basically as close to the hole as I can, like you guys do. I'm guarding the hole, I'm guarding the bait that's in the hole. Where are you offsetting a little bit, or how are you setting the trap? So I've kind of changed my perspective on that over time, and I'm not sure, we're kind of splitting hairs, but I used to offset slightly to the right, assuming that most animals were right-footed, which they probably are. But so I'm pretty much in the center. and not so much offsetting to the right. And this individual was actually offsetting to the left, which was working for him too. But like I said, we're kind of splitting hairs here as long as it's working. The main thing is guarding the hole with the trap. The other thing was the dog, the placement with the dog. Pretty much he was at 12 o'clock, and I think that works just perfectly fine. A lot of times I'm at 12 o'clock as well. I'm normally in the 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock range with the dog of the trap. Kind of depends on, if you're in a real rocky soil, if you got a lot of tree roots or whatever, you just kind of got to work with how the trap will lie and where you can get it bedded the best. So I'm in that 12 to 1, or 12 to 2 area. So I hope that helps. Like I said, this is kind of just splitting hairs. I think the main point of that trap placement is, from our perspective, the trap needs to guard the hole, which has the bait in it, which is where you're most likely to catch them. The animal's coming in from the sides, most likely not straight on like you think that he might. So that's your best bet for that trap placement. So hope that helps.
Proudly offering some of the world's finest small batch coffee, while supporting responsible trapping and sound conservation. Available at traplinecoffee.com. Never be without great coffee.
All right, so we're in pretty heavy brush right here all the way around us. There's no Forest Service road. There's just some animal trails going through this grass. So we can go here without pre-wrapping a drag. You've got a heavier duty drag for sure. With 10, 12 foot of chain, as I've said, the longer the chain, the less control the animal has over the drag. So in this case right here, we can just kind of throw the drag in the direction. Now the set's here, and it's already in the ground, and I did what I did last time, buried the first 6-8 inches of the chain, and basically we're just going to throw that right there. We're going to call it good. We could throw it back. Actually, I'm going to throw it back here. Yeah. That's basically all you have to do. So super quick, way easier than getting a stake in the ground. You got to be real responsible when you use a drag to make sure that it is going to hang up on something, so that you're not, spending hours looking for the animal. There's a couple instances where we have had drags that, one instance we just left it. We could not figure out what happened to it. And what had happened, somebody found the trap and turned it into a conservation officer within the National Forest. That individual got a lecture for disturbing our trap, and we got it back. But it was on a drag, and Justin and I spent forever looking for that trap, and we just scratched our head and we never did find it. Well, it came out and turned out that it had been stolen, which we did recover the trap. And then the other instance was we had a drag, and the animal took off. We spent 3 of us looking for it, probably close to an hour, when we finally found it, and it had tangled up in a briar thicket, and then the animal had pulled out of the trap. So there's definitely a downside to using drags. We just basically kind of got lucky and found that trap. But if the animal's not in the trap, and it can be sometimes very challenging to locate that drag. So on the other hand, can't get a stake in the ground, you're in plain view of the public, and you want to get the animal out of the view of the public. They definitely have their place, but like everything, there is a downside. So you got to be pretty responsible where you're using it and keep those things in mind on kind of worst case scenario. So the big thing on these bigger drags that you're going to just let the animal drag around is the weight. And like the saber-tooth is I like that drag. It's got the 2 points that are angled, so they really hang up. I wouldn't trust it in an open picked cornfield, but they would hang that drag up in most cornfields that have been harvested. So you may have a bit of a chase on your hands. But anyways, that's kind of the bottom line with drags on how to use them in the field. Certainly, like I said, you don't need to cover them up or anything like that. Just cover your first initial little bit up, and then just throw them, and you're good to go. So hope that helps you out on how to use a drag in the field.
Okay, I want to give you a brief description of our deer hunting scent. It's definitely the time of year. A lot of you guys are already hunting, already bow hunting. Of course, gun season's coming up next month for a lot of states. So we've got our basic whitetail doe urine, basically just kind of a fear eliminator, makes them think other deer been around, just has a calming effect to it. We have our doe and heat, which is just like it says, it's good for when the bucks are in the rut or thinking about going in the rut. So here in Indiana, this is generally basically Halloween, maybe through Thanksgiving. So that's basically when you're going to use that. We have our lip licker deer lure, which is straight up attractant, works on both bucks and does. It'll work every month of the year. And this is actually the one that we sell the most of. It's the deer scent that we hear the most back on in terms of deer response. Our dominant buck urine with tarsal is a great territorial type attractant. It works in scrapes or mock scrapes, so you can make your own scrape and get the bucks checking that out. So very effective in that respect. And then we also have our whitetail gland lure. That one is works the entire season, works on both bucks and does, so it's another option. A lot of times you can actually put two different scents out at the same time. So you could put lip licker here, you could put whitetail gland here, or you could take whitetail gland and put doe and heat. So you can kind of don't mix the two, but put them in two separate locations. There's nothing wrong with that. Most of these I would put them on the ground where you have clear shooting lanes, and then also get some on a wick or piece of material up in a trigger limb where it can kind of get out in the air. We've had a number of people had excellent results with the lip licker in drippers. So that's another option for you. And the dominant buck, if you're working over scrapes or mock scrapes and you can't get in there, but once every week or 7-10 days, that would work in a dripper as well. So we're giving you enough quantity here to have an effect. It's most of the scent that's sold commercially comes in a 1 1/4 ounce bottle. The smallest we sell is a 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 16 ounce, 32 ounce, half gallons, gallons. We give you all the quantity you need. And there's also package offers, so be sure to check those out too. Get good quality scent and save some money too. One last thing, we do have our cover scents: fresh earth, persimmon, acorn, and wild apple. So be sure to check those out. We're right in the height of deer season. We ship every day. You'll get your order quick. So don't think that it's going to get hung up in shipping. So.
All right, check day 8. It's been a really slow 2 days, and maybe we're working on another slow 3 days because we're not catching coyotes, but this is what we're catching today.
That doesn't look like a coyote.
No.